All right, so Amber Heard, you have gotten yourself into a right pickle, as they might say, deep shit. And it might seem strange that I'm going to give you advice, and it probably seems strange to some of my Johnny Depp fans. In fact, my mom today, when I told her that I wanted to do this video, she said, "Don't do that. It might alienate some of your Johnny Depp fans because you're giving advice to Amber Heard." But I'm not doing this to help you, Amber. I really wanted to think through this as a kind of a thought exercise and think if I were you, okay, if I were you, what would I do? What would I do from the position that you're in, the very undesirable position that you put yourself in at this point? And thinking about what I would do, I came to the conclusion that what I would do would also, I think, probably be the best and the easiest thing for Johnny Depp. Because I don't have any way of knowing this, but I doubt that very much that he's enjoying this sad charade in court that you've made necessary. I don't think that he wanted any of this, and I think right now, if you would do what I'm going to tell you to do, Amber, I think that this could come to a conclusion that would be good for Johnny Depp and that would maybe be more palatable to you than the conclusion that you're currently facing. So let's talk about where you are right now, okay? And what you're thinking. Right now, you are, I would say, currently the most hated woman in the world. Maybe the most hated person in the world. And I don't mean that you've done the worst things in the world. God knows, despite the terrible things that you've done, there's a lot of worse things that people in this world do. Okay, I would put, is it Casey Anthony? Definitely below you, and a number of others, many others. But you have really fucked yourself. Your reputation is horrible. And here's the thing. Here's the problem for you. Okay, that I see. Is that you have provided to the public a kind of perfect villain, a kind of a pure villain. And what I mean by that, I mean that it is pretty rare in life where people can have the satisfaction of knowing that they are really on the right side and that there is someone that they are rooting against who has really just done some really bad, premeditated, reprehensible, harmful stuff. Normally situations are a lot murkier. Normally, it's a lot in life. There's a lot of ambiguity, and people don't often get the opportunity in a sort of a tribal sense to be cheering bystanders in a kind of a larger than life good versus evil game that's playing out in front of their eyes. And that's what this trial is. Not to be too dramatic, but that's what this trial is. And what's happening and what you've seen happening is that as this trial, the fact that this trial is televised, and I don't have to tell you this, Amber, the fact that this trial is televised means that the intensity of interest in this is huge, and it's just going to keep growing. And I'm seeing these articles written about how social media right now, and I know this, right? Any of us, we YouTubers who make movies, who make videos about this stuff, we know this, but it's just like exploding right now with all of these different TikTok videos and posts and stuff about you in this situation. And it's not over, okay? That's the thing. We're just basically in a kind of a halftime. And so what I'm saying to you is that, unfortunately for you, due to the extensive, premeditated, and just ruthless way in which you have targeted and gone after a beloved man, not a perfect man, but a beloved man, this has put you in the position where people feel justified in attacking you almost as a kind of a pastime. Right? And I'm talking about myself in this, right? I've been making YouTube videos about this, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm just telling you, though, I'm telling you the truth of the situation is that people love a good fight, and they love being on the side of a good person, an underdog, against someone that they can see as being just, yuck, okay? I'm not saying that you're purely evil or anything like that, all right? I'm just saying that that you are in a very unique and rare and unfortunate position as a truly reviled person right now. And this is only going to increase because more and more people are hearing about this trial. I was saying on Twitter the other day that when I started making these videos, that my significant other, who's totally not interested in celebrity gossip or celebrity stories or anything like that, my significant other, I couldn't get him to listen to like one word about this situation, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. I couldn't get him to listen to it. Eyes would glaze over, whatever. Well, now he's sending me all these memes about it, right? Like this is caught on everywhere. And now I'm finding that whereas in the past, if I would bring this up, you know, in random conversations, most people wouldn't have heard about it or would have only have just heard an inkling. Now I find I bring it up, everybody's heard about it, or everybody has an opinion at least. And it's not a good one toward you. And it's just going to increase. All right. You are going to find yourself, and I'm really not enjoying telling you this. Okay. I'm really trying at this moment. I'm really trying to speak to you like totally honestly. This is my honest advice. This is what I really think. You are going to be raked over the coals in the upcoming weeks. And it doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what the verdict is in this, because if the verdict is for Johnny Depp, then that's going to be terrible for you. And you are going to like live on in infamy. And if the verdict is not for Johnny Depp, it's probably going to be even worse for you because almost everyone is on Team Depp. And they're going to be super pissed off, and they're not going to let it go. They're not going to let you, trot off to, your next movie or whatever. Like your life is probably going to be worse if you win this. So you're in a bad position, a position where it looks just inevitable that you will be raked over the coals for an extensive period of time, and you will basically exist in a kind of an infamy after this. Now, is any of this solvable? Is any of this fixable? No, I am afraid it is not. I am afraid that you have persisted, Amber, so far into this. One of my favorite works of literature is Macbeth. Some people know that I teach English occasionally in college. And Macbeth is one of my favorite works of literature. A lot of people have read it in high school, middle school, college, whatever. And Macbeth, not to bore people, y'all don't go away now, listen to me for a second. Amber, you're so literate and well-read that obviously you're going to love talking about this, right? I know you read 20 books a day. Okay, sorry, no, that satire is not, that sort of irony, sarcasm is not needed right now. I understand. I'm trying to give you advice. Okay, Macbeth. Macbeth, in the play, he begins in a really advantageous position. He is a wealthy man. He has the admiration of everyone, including the king. He's a war hero. The king promotes him. He gets this great new job or this great new position in the kingdom. And what happens is he's not satisfied with it, and he gets this prophecy from these witches, and his wife pressures him. But anyway, the point is Macbeth ends up killing the king so that he can take over the throne. And what happens is after Macbeth kills the king, after he takes over the throne, what he finds is that he's gotten himself into a huge pile of shit because everybody's after him now. Everybody's after him. He's a target, being the king, and being the king who has gotten the throne through unjust and unlawful means. He is now a target, and everyone is basically trying to take him down. And so in his paranoia, partly his paranoia and partly his understanding of the situation he's in, he starts striking out and he starts having people executed, including his best friend, and tries to have his best friend's son executed. Really ruthless stuff. Okay, stuff that, yes, you have not done. Anyway, and so what happens is Macbeth, in the middle of the play, he sort of awakens to find that his life is not what he wanted, that he is in this incomprehensible mess that he has created. And there's this verse in the play where he says, I am in blood stepped in so far that to return were as perilous as to go over. In other words, what he's saying is, I have done so much horrible shit to get here that it's like I'm standing in a huge pool of blood, and the only way to get out of it is to walk through more blood. He says there is no other way out of this except more violence, more blood. That's where you are, Amber, in the sense, not of blood, but in the sense that there are no great options for you left. There are only better and worse options among a number of unpleasant options. But I'm telling you that if you persist in this, what's going to happen is, first of all, next week, you're going to create unbelievable fodder for social media and for comedians and for just everybody to ridicule you. If you think that it's been bad so far, wait till, I don't care how well you plan to do on that cross-examination, it's not going to be good enough. It's not. And I can only imagine if the last week is any indication, you spent what, 2 or 3 days on the stand, and that has produced like a lifetime's worth of like TikTok videos and memes and stuff. And I'm not trying to be trivial here. I'm saying like these things matter. And I can only imagine if this persists next week, as it's going to, with the cross-examination and your witness is Whitney. Are you really going to make Whitney do this? I mean, that is really especially cold, okay? And there's that video out there floating around. It's on my channel of her, Whitney, with the bruises from where you beat her up. I'm assuming that's going to be allowed into evidence. Everyone's going to know that you beat your sister and that she's lying. Look, you may win this case on a technicality, but you're not going to win, to quote the military, you're not going to win the hearts and minds, okay, of anyone. And it is going to be a fucking circus for the remaining weeks of this. And it's not gonna help you at all. It's just gonna hurt you. It's just more and more people are gonna tune in, more and more people are gonna pay attention, more and more people are gonna be laughing at you, more and more TikTok videos, more and more YouTube videos, more people like me. Okay? And all of them basically talking about what a horrible person you are. And justifiably talking about it. So what do you do? What is the less bad option in this situation? You go to Johnny Depp, and I mean maybe literally, but through your representatives or whatever, if he or his lawyers will hear you. You, not just the lawyers, but you get on that phone or the Zoom or whatever, and you throw yourself at the mercy of the court, and you put the white flag up, and you tell them, I surrender. Not, well, I'll put out a statement, but I'm going to say this and not this, and don't make me say this. And no. You surrender. White flag. Okay? And you put out whatever statement he wants you to put out, and you concede to the lying, you confess to the lying, and you confess to the abuse, and you confess to whatever, because everyone already knows. All right? Everyone already knows. So you confess to it all, and you shock people, you surprise people. I'm not saying that people will get on your side, and I'm not saying that people won't see it as another manipulative ploy, but I'm telling you, it will interrupt this huge narrative about you that's building, and it will give some sense of relief, and it will get some people's hearts and minds to open a little. Okay? And again, my Justice for Johnny Depp friends might say, we don't want people to do that. But I'm just saying, I don't think Johnny Depp wants this process to continue either. I think if Amber would do the things that he wants her to do and this end, I think it would be great for everyone. Because this process is painful for Johnny Depp as well, I would assume. So Amber, you might say, well, then what do I do after that? What do I do after I throw myself at the mercy of Johnny Depp and I do whatever they want me to do? Then what? What do I have left? Well, what you have left, what do you have left if you go through the remaining weeks of this trial and everybody hates you? I'm telling you, there is no way, Amber, I just see no way that you come out of this with any kind of a victory of any kind. So do the ballsy thing. Do the dramatic thing, and do the thing that has even in a manipulative sense, that has the greatest likelihood of getting some people to cut you a break and to see you, or to begin to see you in a more favorable or more perhaps forgiving way. And then you give some kind of I would say an interview in which you, again, come clean, But in that interview, you can also talk without blaming, without being seen to blame, but you can also talk about your upbringing, your background. You can talk about the mental health struggles you faced. You can talk about how you've finally come to terms with the fact that your particular personality disorders have inclined you to manipulative behavior, even to a lack of empathy, if that's, or whatever. People will appreciate you admitting even to these things. And if you show that you have some kind of a grasp or understanding of your condition, again, that could be a positive. Look, Dr. Curry's testimony, it was terrible for you. It was very effective for Johnny Depp's side. It was really terrible for you. But I will say that one of the things that Dr. Curry's testimony did is it very firmly planted in everyone's idea the fact that you are cognitively defective in the sense that you have personality disorders, not just one, more than one, right? And that you had an abusive background, you had an abusive upbringing, okay? So I'm not saying you go out there and you do an interview and you blame your parents. Don't do that. People will hate that. Or that you go out there and you say, I can't help it because I've got BPD or histrionic or narcissism or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you go out there in the most full spirit of contrition that you can muster. You dig deep in that heart and see if you can find some kind of genuine emotion, would be helpful in terms of genuine emotion, in terms of remorse or repentance or empathy for Johnny Depp and what you put him through. And then you do an interview that makes that clear. And then you can also discuss what you see as some of the aspects of this, some of the factors and so forth. And you tell people that you are going to go away for a while and you are going to think of ways that you can spend the rest of your life atoning for this. And then you get involved in charity work, and you take some time off. You need to go away for a while. Okay. I don't know how many months, whatever. And then you come back and you start doing charity work. Okay. And there'll be people who will say, oh, look at her. She's just trying to rehabilitate her image. Okay, that's fine, but you keep doing it. And if anyone will give you some work, I don't know about the professional stuff. Okay. I'm not a Hollywood agent or whatever. And, maybe what you need to do is write a book. I can't tell you what to do with your career, but I'm saying that if you can get to a point of absolute contrition and surrender and repentance publicly, and then you have the rest of your life to try to start humbly working on your image, but also working on yourself. And, I don't know in life if I believe that anyone is totally 100% hopeless. So you know what? You're a fighter. That's your big thing, right? I'm a fighter. Well, how about you fight to improve yourself? How about you fight to get past these considerable problems that you have? How about you fight to take off the veil of self-delusion that is covering your eyes and go look in the mirror and take a look at what is really there? Do that, and that is a truly great starting point. Because if you don't, where this is all going, it's inevitably not where you want it to go. All right, everybody, those are just my thoughts. I don't know. Tell me what you think. And yeah, justice for Johnny Depp. I'm going to have more videos coming out, obviously, on the trial and Amber Heard and all of that, and other subjects as well, other related subjects. So yeah, hit me up on PayPal, Patreon, whatever. Just remember to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get my videos. All right, I am on vacation here, but still making the videos. Bye-bye.